Former economic minister of France blames President Macron for waking up Africans and pushing out French military. In a recent and controversial statement, a former economic minister of France has publicly criticized President Emmanuel Macron, accusing him of waking up African nations and consequently being responsible for the increasing pushback against French military presence in the continent. Ha said that their children will go to Africa and beg for food soon if African countries continue sending France out of Africa. And he said Macron needs to go and is calling on Europe to join hands and fight the Africans' future. He also said that Africa cannot manage the future. The former minister's comments come amid rising tensions and a growing wave of anti-French sentiment in several African countries. Over the past few years, African nations have been vocal about their desire to reclaim sovereignty and diminish foreign military influence, specifically targeting French troops who have long been stationed across the region as part of anti-terrorism operations. This story did not get media coverage, but we are bringing this news to Africans. To be aware of what is going on is very important that Africans are aware of this news. The minister is openly insulting Emmanuel Macron to open the eyes of Africans. In his statement, the ex-minister argued that President Macron's policies and rhetoric have inadvertently galvanized African leaders and populations, empowering them to challenge the historical military and economic ties that have linked Africa to France. He claimed that Macron's approach has led to a resurgence of nationalistic fervor among African countries, who are now more determined than ever to drive away foreign forces and control their own destinies. He is admitting that Africans have been sleeping for a long time and did not know what is going on. And because of Macron, incompetent Africans are now rising. The backlash has been most visible in countries like Mali, where the government recently demanded the withdrawal of French troops, citing a desire for greater autonomy and self-determination. Similar sentiments have been echoed in other nations, including Burkina Faso and Niger, where local populations have staged protest against the continued presence of French military forces. Africans must win this time. We will not allow any Western world to come to Africa and teach us how to rule our people. Critics of Macron's policies argue that the French government has failed to adapt to the changing political landscape in Africa, clinging to outdated notions of influence and control. They suggest that a more collaborative and respectful approach is necessary to build lasting partnerships with African nations based on mutual respect and shared interests. There is a lot of media attention about this, but the Western media can't show you this. That's why Noble Black News is here to expose every doings. This media is for Africans and blacks, wherever they are in this world. Supporters of President Macron, however, defend his stance, arguing that his efforts to promote democracy, stability, and economic development in Africa are essential for the long-term prosperity of the region. They contend that the pushback against French military presence is a complex issue influenced by various factors, including regional politics and local grievances, and cannot be solely attributed to Macron's leadership. African must rise now because it's time for Africa. As the debate continues, it is clear that the dynamics between France and Africa are undergoing a significant transformation. The call for independence and self-reliance among African nations is growing louder, signaling a shift away from traditional power structures and towards a future where African countries assert greater control over their own affairs. The former economic minister's remarks highlight the complexities and challenges facing Franco-African relations in the 21st century. Whether this shift will lead to a more balanced and equitable partnership or further strained diplomatic ties remains to be seen. Let us unite and support our own. Thank you for watching. Your support means the world to us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates and stories from Noble Black News. Stay tuned for more insightful content. Thank you.
Welcome to Noble Black News, where empowerment meets truth. Our mission is to uplift and empower the Black community. We stand for truth, integrity, and representation. Our stories are your stories, told with pride and passion. Join us as we celebrate our heritage and our future. Together, we are stronger, louder, and more united. Noble Black News is your voice, your platform, your news. We bring you the stories that matter, with integrity and heart. Our commitment is to the truth, no matter the cost. We highlight the achievements and struggles of our community. Every story we tell is a step towards empowerment. We are more than news. We are a movement. Join us in making a difference, one story at a time. Together, we can change the narrative. Noble Black News, empowering our community, one story at a time.